Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another player review on the player of the month, Silva. We're going to be going through the card, his detail stats, clips, summary, as well as his SBC requirements. Before we get into all of that, if I could ask you guys to please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I upload. And comment down below what your thoughts are on this card. That's another one off the list, as you can see from the comment up there. Replace him with someone else, guys. And without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So guys, getting into the player of the month, Silva review. We're going to be getting into the player here, and this is the team I played him in, guys, ahead of Julian Brandt. Please do check out that review as well. And overall, guys, my first impression of this card is actually pretty decent for the price you have to pay and what you're getting for it. Now guys, please do bear in mind that this card is only 30 odd K. We will be looking at the SBC requirements just after this as well. But I do want to say, guys, my impression of this card is it played really well for me. Now, guys, one thing I will say is I've been having really laggy gameplay recently, and that's been cutting me out of a lot of games. So the stats aren't reflective of what I got with him. I think I got a lot more goals than this will suggest. But without further ado, let's get into the review. Silva, 6 foot tall, medium work rates, right footed, 4-star swings and 3-star weak foot. So there's two things I see here, guys, that are an issue for me: the medium work rates and the 3-star weak foot. I prefer the weak foot to be slightly higher and for a high medium work rate. But overall, guys, I do think that it didn't affect the card too much, and he still did play really well for me. Now, considering I had laggy gameplay and was getting lagged out of a lot, so his goals and assists haven't been counted entirely. 7 games played, 5 goals scored and 3 assists is still a great return. And add on to the goals, I think he maybe got 4 or 5 more goals for me. So guys, he really did play phenomenally for me. I really enjoyed using this card. In terms of chemistry style, I put the hawk on him, and I didn't see a need to change it because he was playing so well for me. I think his dribbling's okay, his pace and shooting and physical, I just wanted to give them all a little boost, make him a really competent striker up front and help him out, especially in terms of what he should be good at as a striker. Getting into the player details now. Now, of course, guys, off the bat, the pros of this card: the jumping and the heading accuracy, absolutely fantastic. Great off corners as well, which was really nice to have as well. 92 finishing as well, and 87 acceleration, which was nice to have as well. 81 strength and 83 aggression. All of those things really nice in terms of building this player into what is a really competent and usable striker. 86 short pass and 95 attack positioning as well. So this card has a lot of going for it, guys. Really fantastic card. The cons of this card, guys, that I will say: the 77 sprint speed is a real issue for me, and also the long pass, if we're really picking out flaws, considering that this card could be better in some areas, and the long shots as well, although he is very much a fox in the box kind of finisher. Those are the other two things that you maybe could pick up on and improve on this card overall. In terms of the player traits, guys, we've got the outside of the fish shot trait, which is nice to have in a striker. I wish we had something else like the finesse shot trait or the chip shot trait. But overall, having any traits is nice to have on a player this cheap in any regard as well. Now that we've covered all of that, we're going to get into the SBC requirements to get your hands on him. So guys, getting into the Silva SBC, there is of course only one SBC for this card, costing you 46k on the PlayStation 44 on the Xbox and 52 on the PC. Looking at it here, guys, we can see you need 1 informed player, an 83 rated squad with 1 player from the Bundesliga. So a fairly cheap squad, guys. Of course, the prices are fluctuating a lot with the lack of promos this week driving prices all back up, especially if other cards upgrading as well. This in general will just drive the prices up. This will come down again with the release of new promos this Friday, hopefully. So guys, please do keep an eye out for that as well. It'll probably drop down to around 38, 37k, at which point I do think this SBC is very fairly priced. It's slightly high right now for me, so wait until those drops kick in before you do lock this SBC in if you wanted to. Now that we've covered all of that, we're going to get into some of the clips that I got with him. So guys, getting into some of Player of the Month, Silva's clips, and what you guys are going to see here, guys, is just his general ability to play up front. Now, as you guys have seen there, immediately his long shots slightly ineffective because of that low long shot capability, but in and around the box, guys, he is really a pest because of his combination of aggression, strength and reasonable finishing. He is a very good player and very usable, guys, as well, actually, in terms of what you're getting coin to value player. I do think this player can do a lot for you, and especially with that passing as well, guys. He really is an all-around striker. His shooting isn't bad, his passing's pretty good, and his dribbling isn't half bad either. So therefore, you do have yourself a very rounded player. Now, guys, what I would say is outside of the box, and it is a big one and something that I'm going to talk about to you guys, his shooting is poor. You really do have to get this card in and around the box if you want to have a good level of success with him, and that's to the detriment of your team as well, because if players know that, then they can just play this player outside of the box, jockey a lot and stop him from getting through. As you guys can see, I had to do a lot of dribbling with this card to get any success with him. But guys, if you can get past that, what you do have then is a player who really can do it all in the box in terms of creating chances, scoring chances. He's able to pass the ball off if the space arrives. And although he doesn't convert every chance, he converted enough for me to know that he was a reasonable enough striker as well. We're going to get into some of the goals soon. Overall, guys, the other thing I wanted to mention was his dribbling is pretty decent. It seems better than what the card would suggest. Although it's in the mid-80s, it did feel like, and obviously this may have been down to the chemistry style, that his dribbling was pretty tight, pretty usable, and not bad for what stage of the game we're at. We're going to get into some of the finishes, guys, and you guys are going to see that often his positioning and his ability to just get in the right spot meant that the finishes are all quite easy for him. That's actually to the positives of this card. I mean, look at that, holding the line there perfectly. I don't even know how that was onside. Winning a lovely header here. He does have that capacity. And in this final clip here, guys, just the pen that he scored for me, smashing it just to the right of the keeper. So guys, getting into this final Andre Silva summary, 45k on the PlayStation, 44k on the Xbox, and 51k on the PC. Now guys, overall, I think this card is pretty decent considering his price. Of course, the standout stats here are his finishing and his positioning, but as well just his overall attacking striker play. He's pretty decent on the passing, he's pretty decent on the dribbling, his acceleration is good, his sprint speed's a bit of a con, but I think you can help that out. His long shots aren't really that great either, but guys, if you use this player as more of a fox in the box, I do think this player can do really well for you, especially in those budget Bundesliga teams. Overall, guys, I do think it's just a decent all-around striker, especially for 45k. You may be locking in a lot of coins. If you've got a lot of untradeable fodder that you want to get rid of on this squad, as you guys have seen already from the SBC requirements, it's not that bad in terms of just locking this in to get yourself a reasonable player. In terms of the recommended chemistry style, guys, there's a whole bunch you could look at here. I think something that boosts his pace is definitely better. A hunter may be the one to go for. It doesn't really boost his long shots, but you can go for also something like an engine that also does the following to his stats, boosts him quite well in that regard as well. So there's a bunch of things you can do with this card. It really depends on how you want him to play, whether you want him to be more of a creative force or whether you want him to be more of a finisher, fox in the box kind of player. If you don't mind the speed too much, then of course a finisher will also work wonders in terms of boosting his shooting to that next level. Of course, the long shot's still very much unaffected. You'll have to find the chemistry style that works to boost that if you want that to be better, but I do think that there are a bunch of ways you can play this card. My recommendation though would be that fox in the box kind of play, and put an engine on him, guys, just to help out his speed, passing and dribbling as well. In terms of similar players, guys, I'm hesitant to say that, of course, the 94 Benzema, I think that's a very good card, and Andre Silva is nowhere near that level of technical capability. I don't think he's far off one of these Benzema variants, though. I certainly think the 90 variant of Benzema is a very good shout. You'll see that Benzema's price is also significantly lower than the 94 Benzema, of course. I don't think he's anywhere near this level of capability, but one below this, the 90 rated inform, is a pretty good level at which he sits at. I think he's a competent striker. I just don't think he's amazing. Perfectly usable though in a lot of squads, and especially for linking into a bunch of players as well. Of course, he has that Portuguese nationality, so you can go across leagues to players like Bernardo Silva, Joao Felix, Ronaldo, Deco, all these kind of players that you can link him into, which is where we'll go to next, guys, with his linkability. Of course, he has the perfect link to another Portuguese striker at Eintracht Frankfurt. But if we go to the other linkability here, we've obviously got all these Portuguese icons. We've got Hinteregger in there as well, the headliner, who's a very decent card. Please do check out that review, as well as links to players like Rafael Guerreiro, Rui Costa, Kostic, Jovic, all those kinds of players as well. And then the weak links as well, guys, of course, go to all these Portuguese players like Bruno Fernandes, like Cristiano Ronaldo. You get a bunch of links in there as well. Finally, guys, getting into my final recommendation. Now, guys, I would compare this to other players in the Bundesliga, but actually, as things stand, he is a lot more expensive than a lot of the base strikers you can now get there. Guys, if you want a more meta striker, then this card isn't the one for you. I do think that this card is a fantastic player. He's very budget, and if you wanted a special card as well, it's a nice way to build something different into your team, use something a little different. However, if I was to give you a straight up recommendation as to whether you should do this card or not, 45k for an 87 rated card that isn't particularly good without the chemistry style is quite steep. I would say it's bordering on fair, guys. It's on the high end of fair. But it is expensive for what you're getting for this card. I do think that this card is a decent player, and overall, guys, I don't think it's that bad in SBC, considering how well valued the SBCs have been this month. I quite like this one, and I did it, and I'm glad I did it as well. But overall, guys, I think if you're looking for a striker who can hold it down in a budget Bundesliga team, I wouldn't be picking this card up, only if you wanted a special card that you could link across other leagues as well. This one fits in quite nicely to those teams. Hope you guys did enjoy this review. If you did, please do smash that like button, and until next time, I will see you all in a bit.